Hey there, welcome to our video about Sweden, the country that gave us the world-famous furniture store IKEA and the delicious meatballs we all love. But don't let the meatballs fool you. Sweden is so much more than just furniture and food. It's one of the most interesting countries in Europe with a rich history, beautiful landscapes, and a unique culture. So buckle up and let's take a ride through Sweden's geography, climate, politics, economy, culture, and people. Alright, let's dive a bit deeper into Sweden's geography. Did you know that Sweden is so big that it's the size of California, Nevada, and Arizona combined? That's a lot of land to cover, but don't worry, we won't bore you with all the details. We'll just give you the highlights. First of all, Sweden is located in Northern Europe, bordered by Norway to the west, Finland to the east, and the Baltic Sea and Gulf of Bothnia to the south. It's also home to several islands, the largest of which is Gotland, located in the Baltic Sea. But what sets Sweden apart is its natural beauty. The country is home to over 95,000 lakes, which cover about 9% of the country's total area. Some of the most famous lakes include Vänern, which is the largest lake in the European Union, and Vättern, which is the second largest lake in Sweden. Sweden is also home to over 200,000 islands, which is more than any other country in the world. Some of the most famous islands include the Stockholm Archipelago, which is made up of over 30,000 islands, and the Åland Islands, which are located between Sweden and Finland. But it's not just the lakes and islands that make Sweden so beautiful, it's also the forests, mountains, and coastlines. Sweden has some of the most beautiful forests in the world, with over 63% of the country covered in trees. The most famous forest is probably Tiveden National Park, which is home to some of the oldest trees in Sweden. The mountains in Sweden are also a sight to behold. The most famous mountain range is the Scandinavian Mountains, which stretch from the north of Sweden down to the south. The highest peak in Sweden is Kebnekaise, which stands at 2,106 meters tall. The weather, the one thing we all love to talk about, and Sweden is no exception. The climate in Sweden can be a bit of a roller coaster ride, so buckle up and let's explore it together. Sweden has what's known as a temperate climate, which means that it's neither too hot nor too cold. But don't be fooled, that doesn't mean it's always pleasant. The weather in Sweden can be quite unpredictable, with sudden changes in temperature and unexpected rain showers. During the summer months, the temperature can reach a high of around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, which is perfect for those who love to bask in the sun. But beware, the Swedish summer is notoriously short, with only a few months of warm weather before the colder temperatures start to set in. Winter, on the other hand, is a completely different story. The temperature can drop to as low as negative 30 degrees Celsius, which is not for the faint of heart. But hey, at least it's perfect weather for snuggling up under a warm blanket with a cup of hot cocoa. And let's not forget about the rain. Sweden is known for its frequent rain showers, which can happen at any time of the year. So make sure to pack your raincoat and your umbrella, because you never know when you might get caught in a sudden downpour. But despite the unpredictable weather, Sweden is still a beautiful country to visit. Some would argue that the changing seasons add to its charm. So whether you're visiting in the summer or the winter, just make sure to pack accordingly and you'll be fine. And who knows, maybe you'll even get lucky and catch a glimpse of the northern lights during your visit. After all, Sweden is one of the best places in the world to see this breathtaking natural phenomenon. So keep your fingers crossed and your eyes peeled, and you might just witness something truly magical. Alright, let's talk politics. I know, it's not the most exciting topic, but trust me, Sweden's political system is pretty interesting. Sweden is a parliamentary democracy, which means that the people elect representatives to the parliament who then make decisions on behalf of the country. But what's cool about Sweden is that it has a multi-party system, which means that several political parties compete for seats in parliament. Sweden has 8 political parties represented in parliament, which is pretty impressive for a country with a population of only 10 million people. Some of the most popular parties include the Social Democrats, the Moderate Party, and the Sweden Democrats. But what sets Sweden apart is its commitment to social welfare. Sweden is known for having one of the most generous welfare systems in the world, with free healthcare, free education, and a strong social safety net. And this commitment to social welfare is reflected in Sweden's political system, with many of the political parties advocating for policies that support the well-being of all citizens. But it's not just about social welfare. Sweden is also known for its progressive policies on issues like LGBTQ rights, gender equality, and environmental protection. Sweden was the first country in the world to introduce a legally binding Environmental Protection Act way back in 1998. Of course, no political system is perfect, and Sweden is no exception. exception, there are still challenges that the country faces, like rising inequality and an aging population. But overall, Sweden's political system is a model for many other countries around the world. Now, let's talk about something a bit more practical: the economy. Sweden has a mixed economy, which means that it's a combination of both capitalism and socialism. It's like a Reese's peanut butter cup. But for economic systems, one of the things that sets Sweden apart is its high standard of living. Despite having a relatively high cost of living, Sweden is known for having a strong economy that provides its citizens with a high quality of life. Sweden consistently ranks as one of the happiest countries in the world. So, what's the secret to Sweden's economic success? Well, it's a combination of factors. For one, Sweden has a highly skilled and educated workforce, thanks in part to its free education system. This means that Swedish workers can command higher wages and contribute to the country's economic growth. Sweden is also known for its innovation and entrepreneurship. Some of the world's most successful companies, like Spotify and IKEA, have their roots in Sweden. This culture of innovation is supported by the government, which provides funding and resources to startups and small businesses. But it's not just about the big companies. Sweden is also home to a thriving small business sector, with many Swedes starting their businesses and contributing to the economy in their own way. Sweden has one of the highest rates of entrepreneurship in Europe. Of course, Sweden's economy is not without its challenges. Like many countries, Sweden was hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic, with many businesses struggling to stay afloat. But the government stepped in with a series of measures to support businesses and workers, and the economy is slowly starting to recover. Last but not least, let's talk about Sweden's culture and people. Sweden is known for being a pretty chill place, with a relaxed and laid-back culture that values work-life balance and social equality. One of the things that sets Swedish culture apart is the concept of lagom. Lagom is a Swedish word that roughly translates to just the right amount. It's all about finding balance and not overindulging. This philosophy is reflected in many aspects of Swedish culture, from their minimalist interior design to their healthy lifestyle choices. Swedish people are also known for being friendly and welcoming, despite their reputation for being a bit reserved. And while they may not be as outgoing as some other cultures, they're always up for a good fika. Fika is a Swedish tradition that involves taking a break from work or daily activities to enjoy a cup of coffee and a pastry with friends or colleagues. It's a social ritual that reflects the importance of community and connection in Swedish culture. Sweden is also known for its love of the outdoors. With a landscape that includes mountains, forests, and thousands of lakes, it's no wonder that Swedes love to spend time in nature. Hiking, skiing, and camping are popular activities, and the country even has a law that allows anyone to camp anywhere in nature for one night without permission. Of course, Sweden is also famous for its contributions to music, art, and design. ABBA, Ace of Base, and Max Martin are just a few of the famous Swedish musicians who have made an impact on the global music scene. And who could forget IKEA and its affordable, minimalist furniture that has become a staple in homes around the world. But perhaps what makes Sweden truly unique is its commitment to social equality and justice. From gender equality to LGBTQ rights, Sweden has been at the forefront of many progressive movements, and this commitment is reflected in the country's culture with a strong emphasis on compassion, empathy, and social responsibility. Well, that's all, folks. We hope you enjoyed this comprehensive overview of Sweden's geography, climate, politics, economy, culture, and people. Who knew there was so much to learn about this small Nordic country? From the stunning natural beauty of its landscape to its innovative business culture and commitment to social justice, Sweden has a lot to offer. And let's not forget the fika and lagom, two concepts that we could all benefit from incorporating into our own lives. So, whether you're planning a trip to Sweden or just looking to expand your knowledge of the world, we hope this video has given you a taste of what this amazing country has to offer. And who knows, maybe you'll find yourself saying skål and raising a glass of aquavit with some new Swedish friends in the not too distant future. Until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.